Alright, so now we're going to look at arms and how that works. Now, don't go reinventing the wheel. The wheel's here. You just have to kind of think of what the wheel looks like. In this case, I'm just going to take and duplicate face. Again, I just kind of go like this just a little bit to move that blue arrow, and that'll allow me to have a mesh in that area that I can grab. So grab it, move it out. Now for me, I kind of measure this this way. Jump into the front view, modify center pivot that, and then I dog vector it to the top. Okay, and then I move, and I'm measuring from like right here, and then I'm thinking that this guy also has a hand. Okay. Okay, I'll generally shorten this up quite a bit. And now if you put your elbow, like if you stand up and put your elbow right into your ribs just a little bit, you'll find that, you know, if my rib cage is right around in here, keep in mind I haven't added that in here, I'm just using an imaginary line. I'm thinking this is my six pack and this is my belly button. Okay, that's what I see these lines as. But I see my area right here being the rib cage. Okay, and if I have my rib cage there, that means my crook of my arm or elbow should be able to go in that area. And then also this changes a little bit, but if you put your hand all the way or your arm all the way straight down, you'll find that you're able to touch just above the kneecap a little bit, and that changes a little bit from person to person, but yeah, in that general area. Try to keep it loose with the interpretation of anatomy with this guy, because really I don't want to get bogged down by it. But if I had something that looks like that, it looks right to me. Maybe a little bit more. I can always shrink that, I can always make it bigger, but look at, I didn't have to reinvent anything there. Alright, now let's rotate that bad boy. I like to put it in the Scarecrow Pose. Now, a lot of people do this, alright, depending upon where you're going with the character. For me, when I add bones to a character, you know, I do like to think of this being the ideal situation. Some choose this as the ideal situation. Again, I think this would be the ideal situation for my case, so I always use the Scarecrow Pose. Then I just move it up just a skosh from that, because I kind of think of this area being developed yet. Alright, let's jump in. Now what I want to do is make a clear indication of where this arm's going to be attached in the mesh, where it doesn't interfere with the topology of anything else. Alright, so if it's sculptable, usually this area will have an opening. Now, how do you make an opening without screwing up the topology? Like, I don't want to insert an edge loop here, obviously, because that would put too much into the ear. Well, that's where an edge loop or edge ring is available to us. So I will put something here. That's okay. And then what I'll do is take this edge and you can see it needs to be slid forward anyway. Okay, again, highlighting some weird edges here. So highlight all edges, go like that, grab just that edge. And now I don't want to move the edge in the head at all. So Control, click and drag. We'll do that. And now I'm just going to slide that. So slide edge tool, middle mouse button, click and drag. And I'm sliding that forward. Okay, did that hurt anything down here? Nope. Worked out quite well. I might have to move a few vertices back from here to there, but that is where I want to have my opening for the arm. I'll move this one up. And now, if I want to make this correct and have a lot less issues down the road, I'll think about where these need to go right off the bat. Okay, one thing I did a little bit wrong here. Okay, so this is the center of the arm. We'll think of it that way. I do not need this much topology, so I'm going to just destroy some of these edge loops on this leg. Control right click to edge loop and delete. Don't need a bicep or that weird area. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit. R to straighten that edge loop. So I'm reducing the arm as much as I can because that's what needs to happen. Good. So what I'm going to do is choose 4 faces here. I always kind of keep this one here because this edge loop is eventually going to make it into the center. Control E. I'm just going to try this out. And then average that. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 faces is needed on this side, deleted. So is this 4 faces over here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So I can tend to have another one in here if I need it, and I probably will. Good. I'm going to make this the center line for the arm. And that'll help with this frontal area with the muscular to work that out. And I'm just going to attach loosely with V on the keyboard. I'm going to go back over here. Don't attach them all at once. You know, go to the front, work that front out. Because there's going to be an extra, you're going to need an extra edge loop in this, and you don't want it to look stretched. Okay. V to put right here. Good. That works out quite well. Control R to insert an edge loop. I'll move this edge loop a little bit forward. Now we're going to have an extra edge loop in this area eventually. I want to just break that in as far as uniformity is concerned. I'm just going to puff this out. It just gives me an idea where landmarks are. Okay. Jump into my front. Straighten that out a little bit. And then I'm just going to go move this back a little bit. Jump back into perspective and destroy these. And then we'll put the arm back on. Take that one and snap it back into position. There. Cool. Object. Mesh combine. Jump into my front. Sew that bad boy up. Okay, let's test that out. Control R to insert edge loop. Good. And right down here, I could see that this one needed to be put a little bit further on. Now sometimes this could be a pretty big chore to get it into the right view, to get it to snap to a vertex that you want it to snap to. So 4 on the keyboard will make it a lot easier. You can get in that general area. If I have anything else highlighted, highlight and dehighlight. And then here I'll just snap that right there. So a little easier in wireframe. Okay, I'm just going to move this stuff closer. That's the edge loop that needs to go in that area, and just like that. Alright, cool. You have now made it to an area where you gotta mirror it over to the other side. So we'll do that in the next video, because this one's getting kind of long. See you there.